Hi, I'm Ray, and today I will try to persuade you to stop acting like a youngster. And I believe you have heard this idiom youth is half a battle. But I think most youngsters will fall into a trap that they will not be sick, or at least fatal disease like cancer will not happen to them in the near future. But that is wrong. So today I will tell you why you should sleep right and why you should drink right. And in every part, I will first talk about why do we youngsters develop bad habits, and why shouldn't we develop bad habits. And because I'm certainly suffer from autonomic ataxia, so I will share with you my point of view, and hope you can change the way you live and stop acting like a youngster. So let's begin with our first one, sleeping. So youngsters are often go to bed late or have lack of sleep. And when I ask my friends about why do they go to bed late, here are some reasons. Some of them think that they need their own times, and some of them they just flop their phone, and suddenly few hours have passed. And some of them just didn't think that going to bed late will affect them, and few of them just couldn't fell asleep. So now, why shouldn't we develop the habit of going to bed late? Okay, so first of all, I will have to say that going to bed late will lead to lack of sleep most of the time, and lack of sleep is the main reason that we will have the problem that I'm going to say. The first one is toxic protein. Our brain will have toxic protein, and every night while we are sleeping, our brain will wash away this toxic protein so that we can stay healthy brain wise. And if we don't have enough sleep, the toxic protein will stay in our brain and start to build. And to a certain level, we might develop disease like Alzheimer. And I believe that we um, create memory at daytime. Uh, the memory is for remembering, not for forgetting while we get old, right? So I think we should all go to sleep on time for our memories. Other than Alzheimer, there are several diseases that we will have, like strokes or heart disease, that will develop with the time that we go to bed late or we lack of sleeping. Sleeping is really important to we human, and to me, I will have to say that as a patient, I can feel when my body is not in the right place. Every time I stay up late, it just feel like really painful in my chest, and the whole I just didn't feel like I'm in the right place. So to a patient, to you healthy people, I would say you will not want to get sick just because you don't want to sleep. And for you who just can't go to sleep, I have some tips for you. Maybe you can try meditation, and maybe you can switch off your electronic device 30 minutes before you go to sleep. Or maybe you can get up early and exhaust yourself just to sleep. Try to sleep easily at night. And if you just couldn't solve your problem, just try to find a doctor and build up a healthy habit, because sleeping is important. And the last part is drinking. I think we can all agree that beverage is one of the best invention in our generation. So, and most people think that beverage can actually substitute water, but that is not the case. And but first, I asked some of my friends why do they love to drink beverage, and all of their answers are because beverages are tasty, and they do not think they drink beverages too often. Well, but I have to say that in the following part, I will have to uh, tell you how important to us to drink sufficient water. And the first reason is that we are 60% water. And H2O in our body will lubricate our joint and can regulate our temperature and also can supply our spinal cord. And these are important things to us. And in our brain and heart, they are third quarters water in our brain. And daily, human uh, will reduce 3 liters of water while we are sweating or even just breathing. So we lose water in a rapid pace. And in order to have enough water, uh, male will require to have 2.5 to 3.7 liters of water, and female will need to have 2 to 2.7 liters of water. So from this data that I show you, it is easily to say that water is important to us because we're 60% and we lose them a lot, and beverage cannot replace water, not at all. And the second one is sugar addiction. But before we talk about sugar addiction, I will have to talk about dopamine. Dopamine is a receptor in our brain, and it gives us the sense of happiness and satisfied. But you know what can also trigger dopamine? Sex and drugs. That's why some people were addicted to sex and some people were addicted to drugs, because it triggers our dopamine and it makes us feel that, oh, and at the same time, working hard to achieve a goal will also stimulate our dopamine. So, but sex and drugs and even sugar are more easily than working hard, right? So that's why people get addiction, because sex and drugs or even sugar make them feel better easily than working hard. And that is really big problem, because we all know what happens to the those who suffer from sex addiction and drugs addiction. And sugar addiction can lead to insulin resistance, and the insulin resistance will lead to metabolic syndrome. And with metabolic syndrome, we will develop disease like diabetes and heart attack. And these are bad for us youngsters, because we literally just drink a lot of beverage every day, and maybe we just neglect the importance of water. And from a patient to you healthy people, I will say that drinking beverage is one of the reasons that I get sick. And after I got sick, um, whenever I'm drinking beverage, I will feel like really bad. I just feel bad, for my body, and I will be not in the great condition. So I think when you get sick, your body cannot afford those things that isn't normal. So I would say, so from my experience, take me as an example. I think you can all know the importance of drinking water. And this is my reference. And lastly, to you, I would like to say that we are the first generation that have a lot of recreation for us to do, so that we are not willing to sleep at night. And we are the first generation that have beverage that like kinds of beverage that we can choose from and really ease our mind. But we are also the first generation that might have um, to know the side effect of going to bed late and drinking beverage by ourselves. And I don't want to experience the the disadvantage of these two bad habits myself, and I guess you don't want to either. So I I hope that after this speeching, you can all try to rethink your habit on sleeping and drinking. Try to be a healthy youngster. And lastly, I want to say to you that sleep right, drink right, and I wish you a healthy life. And this is my presentation. Thank you for your listening.